Okay, so we're joined with Cadwell King, Tegiwa Racing's Ilya. Do you want to introduce yourself? What we're doing here?
My name is Ilya Krylov of Ruski Weld Fab, formerly known as Ruski Weld. I don't know if we can say this word.
Say what you want.
I had to rename it because, you know, turn it down a bit. This is my Renault Clio, and for this season I was lucky enough to be invited. Well, by invited, I asked, can I join? And I've been accepted into a Tegiwa Racing family, so very happy to be with you guys.
And you've been out for 2 sessions this morning. How have they gone so far?
They've gone all right. I mean, considering that what I have to work with, because the car was originally for this season was supposed to be with a sequential gearbox. That's why I entered into Club Pro 2VD. But unfortunately that never showed up, so I had to buy a cheap 200-pound eBay jobby, unopened, open diff, slot it in just so I can make it. So we are limited on power, limited on traction. Considering all this, getting all my race car excuses out of the way, it's going pretty well. Obviously not going to win any prizes, not going to set any records. I did set my personal best, which is good. But yeah, it's going well. Nothing is leaking. Keep touching wood. It's all behaving well, but it's the handling. I'm really happy how the car handles. You know, with all the added aero and wider wheels and stuff like that. It's definitely a lot of fun to drive. You know, I can finally focus on sort of driving the car rather than fighting with the old gearbox that I had before and stuff. So.
So what about the car? Obviously we know you fabricated a lot of it yourself. Yeah, talk us through it. Let's walk around it.
I would say 98% is basically a DIY home build, as pretty much everything is featured on my Ruski Weld Fab YouTube channel. I try to sort of make lots of tutorials on how to make, for example, carbon fiber. Well, this is Kevlar, but it's the same principle. I kind of picked it up last year. This was the first thing I've done, and then I was like, oh, right, let's take it forward. So now half of the car is covered in my own homemade panels. The same goes for all the mechanical works, the electrical work, the setting up. The only things I don't do is mapping the engine. I have a guy, Chris at EFI Parts in Runcorn. He's an absolute god when it comes to Renault engines, so he's the one that tunes it. And there was a few bits and pieces that I bought from people that already were pre-fabricated, like the manifold and a few other bits and pieces, like for example Pure Motorsport. They're really good friends of mine. They've done a few bits and pieces with regards to the engine, like working on the flywheel, lightening it and putting different pulleys and stuff like that. But yeah, it's sort of a full-blown home build race car. Yeah, down to
so was it a 182 originally or 172?
It's a 172.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've set about a personal goal to build the fastest Renault Clio with a standard engine, admittedly with a turbo bolted on top and obviously modified, but it's not a K-swap, no. It's not a Megane engine. It's basically, this is the engine that came from the factory, then modified, and I set about to build the fastest in the UK. So far, not many cars. There are some cup cars that, for example, at Brands Hatch, they can beat it by half a second, but so far I'm kind of on the right track. I mean, obviously we're running a lot of horsepower. hence the number. So this is the 430 horsepower. The car weighs just under a ton, 1997, which is still way too heavy considering all the fiberglass, carbon fiber work I've done. But it's the sort of the turbo manifolds and all the things, because it has a dry sump. So obviously the tank is in the back. That's extra 10 liters of weight, and the beefy cage, and you know, all the added aero and stuff like that. So all that adds up. So it's not the lightest thing, but
it's good and it goes well.
Yeah.
So what's next on your build?
Ooh, what's next? Oh, sequential gearbox. If it
not an eBay box.
Yeah, no. Hopefully for Brands Hatch I'll have that in. Yeah, eBay. I mean, as sponsored by eBay. Hopefully that. But then, I mean, I have this obsession with Kevlar. Now the whole thing has to be covered in Kevlar, because obviously the doors is fiberglass, the boot is fiberglass steel. So the doors need to be done from Kevlar, the boot Kevlar, just so it complete the look. Then the side skirts, the flat floor from Kevlar as well, just to lighten it even further. Other than that, I need to develop my own skills driving it, because it's all about sort of driver confidence and how you feel with the car. It's no point of increasing the power exponentially or something else if you can't drive it. So I already always say that this car is too fast for my abilities. I mean, I'm pretty sure this can do here like 135, so I'm struggling to dip below 140 yet. But yeah, I would say, yeah, lots more carbon fiber, sequential, and driver skill.
Nice. So how did you get into racing? Like, where did it all start for you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I did answer it a few months ago on one of my friends' sort of channel. He asked me the same. It's yeah, many years ago, back in home country. I don't want to name it because it's not a very popular country at the moment, rightly so. I used to race a ladder. You probably know which country is now, but yeah, just drag racing, the same thing, illegal drag racing. So that's where it kind of all started. But I've never been a professional motorsport enthusiast, but I've been modifying cars for the past 15-20 years, you know, mainly Volkswagen, Audis and stuff like that. And then decided I want a cheap, reliable track car. Yeah, cheap, reliable no more, but yeah, I'm happy with what I have. I had it for almost 5 years now, so it's
and did you buy it, was it stock when you bought it?
It was stock. It was a non-runner. It was an eBay job. £400 I paid for it. £400. It was a non-runner from Leeds. The guys delivered it on a trailer, and the wife only found out that I bought the car when they delivered it to my house, and she was like, what the is this? So hey, it's my new track car. It's a cheap track car because I used to track. I have another Audi RS4, and it's amazing on a track, don't get me wrong, but it's just too heavy. It's heavy on the brakes and everything, and oil and stuff. So I wanted something cheaper to run, and it's not cheaper to run now. It probably uses more petrol than a V8 in Audi.
It goes fast, so who cares?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would say, because I decided to sort of build the fastest, and everything is about the YouTube and stuff, the only way to sort of properly prove that this is the fastest, if it's ever going to be the fastest, is to show lap times, because none of this sort of, you know, phone lap timing is actually matters. So time attack or real racing. With real racing, because it's door to door, you can't really sort of push it that much. So time attack is the obvious one, doing it legally in a controlled environment.
And door to door, you'd be restricted with all these, the aero package, your engine modification.
So last year I decided to enter Run What You Brang, see what the car can do, and I had numerous problems with the original dog box that I had. There was always either the box brakes or the clutch brakes or something else. But yeah, hopefully this season something will change, and we can show some good results. But yeah, I don't really have, answering your question, I don't really have sort of a racing career. Been with
just
cars,
kind of happened.
Yeah, been with cars forever, and I only literally got my proper license a couple of months ago, specifically to enter this class. Yeah. So yeah, my racing career started a couple of months ago, essentially.
Yeah. What's your day job? Like, how do you pay for all that?
I am a photographer. I'm a photographer and videographer. I make pretty pictures, and people sell their stuff online. If you buy something on Amazon or on eBay, and it's not what it looks on the picture, and you're like, damn it, it looks so good on the picture, that's me. I'm sorry, I'm guilty. That's what I do. I make something cheap look $1 million. And actually, funny enough, some clients like, I'll make it $1 million. And Yeah, that's basically my day job. That's what I do. But I am developing this Ruski Weld Fab into a business, hopefully, because I am already not trying to advertise myself, but anything. I do make roofs for sale for the Clio, and obviously some sort of body panels custom made for people, because I get a lot of people contact me and asking me like, oh, can you do this, can you do that? I don't have the space at the moment, but that's the plan in the future, to make this at least a part-time job, so merge everything together. So because I film everything on YouTube as well, it will be all sort of under the same umbrella. You know, you order a part, I make a part, I film the part, I sell you the part, I put video on YouTube and all that. So a dream come true, you know, be one of those YouTubers, highly paid YouTubers, yeah.
So you mentioned Ruski Weld. Where can people find you on socials?
It's the same name, Ruski Weld Fab, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. I do have Telegram channel, but don't worry about that one. I used to be on Twitter, but Twitter is a bit useless. It's just too many. So main three ones, yeah, Instagram, Ruski Weld Fab, YouTube, Ruski Weld Fab, and Facebook. So yeah, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Click and subscribe.
Cool. So yeah, we'll let you crack on, get ready for qualifying, I think it is now.
Yep. Hopefully I'll turn it up one notch and see what happens.
Yeah. Last question. What's your favourite takeaway?
What's my favorite takeaway?
Stumped him.
I know. I'm a big sucker for takeaways. I would say a takeaway for me would be something that you can't cook at home, like properly at home. So something like a really good Thai food, you know, because of course you can cook it, but it's something that you wouldn't normally. So Thai.
It's the first one on the channel, I think. Thai. It's different. It's out there.
A bit of pad Thai or some, you know, like green curry, something spicy.
Tegiwa approved.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brilliant.
That's that then. So yeah, like and subscribe.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.